these well-behaved women have made us a talky-talk, but here we go. We feel like with the current events that we are out of our torpor and into let's get it moving mode, I think. Because as much as I'd like to sit and mourn over the loss of all of our grandma, I think that her dying wish is going to require all of us to step up. What do you think, my dear?
Yeah, I agree. You know, and I saw a headline today. I was too distraught to like actually open the article just because, you know, I really have to be emotionally okay to read an article about a recent Trump decision.
Yeah.
But the headline said that, you know, he's basically assuring everyone that he's going to nominate a woman to take her seat.
Oh, well, good. Let's get Betsy DeVos in there because she knows what she's doing. I mean, who cares what, I mean, granted, I want a woman, yes, but I don't want just any woman. I mean, it's never been about having somebody who wears a dress occasionally. It's about the type of person you are. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry there hasn't been a woman that Trump has put into the public eye since he's taken office that I have actually even liked, let alone been able to respect as somebody who could be somebody who decides my fate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of his administration, anyone that he would consider competent has any of our best interests at heart.
No, I mean, one need only look as far as Kellyanne, you know, honestly. And I'm not looking forward to this. I think what we need to do, honestly, I posted this on my Democrats Facebook page, Fresno area Democrats, that if ever there was a time that we needed to flood the streets and protest, now is that time. Because for the last 3.5 years, we have been on the very precipice of a authoritarian government. And I think that with the death of notorious RBG, we're that step away. We are that step away. And Mitch McConnell, for all of his protesting about how un-American and unpatriotic it would have been to nominate a judge a mere year and a half from the election, when Obama was the president, we're only 45 days away.
Yeah.
45 days away from an election. So how can he possibly justify it at this point? And I thank God that there are some Republican senators who are not wanting to go that route. Mitt Romney being one, surprisingly. Mitt Romney said that he would not vote for a new judge prior to the day of inauguration. And that's good. But even if Trump doesn't win the election and we have a lame duck session, we shouldn't be voting for them then either. We should be waiting for the new president to come in and make their nominee. That was their whole point then. That was their whole thing then. We should wait, let the people decide. Well, if the people have decided for a new president, then the people have decided for a different judge. You know?
Yeah.
So I believe that anybody who lives in an area that has a Republican senator needs to flood that Republican senator's streets in protest and sending the message that, we the people for whom the government and by whom the government is supposed to work, demand you do the right thing.
So what about for those that can't really go out and flood the streets, or especially the states where the pandemic is pretty strong?
I mean, we've had all these BLM protests and so forth, and almost all of the surges in the pandemic have come from places outside of where these protests have happened. I think that BLM protesters and so forth have been very, very good about wearing their masks, social distancing, etc. And I'm 54 years old. I have arthritis in both of my knees. I can't be walking the street, so it's really fantastic of me to say, yeah, go flood the streets. But I sent my check to the ACLU, so I'm helping to bail you out of jail. I'll send you a pizza. I will buy you a drink. I will do what I need to do to help the people that can actually be out there. And I think it's gonna take all of that. I think either do that or be ready to arm yourself, because I don't think that this isn't a joke. I think our democracy is right there on the edge.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't think that this is at all the time to not take it seriously. And I told you that I recently had a falling out with a family member.
Yeah.
Who was just kind of posting some things that implies that she kind of jumped on this just ridiculous bandwagon.
She's on the QAnon QAnon train. That's what she is. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just, I was talking to my father about it, and I was like, it bums me out. She's my cousin, and I told him, and just about how her husband came after me, and verbally attacked me.
Oh, crazy!
How she and I tried to kind of, I tried to reach out for to have a conversation about it, and she sent me her piece, and I responded, and then there hasn't been any communication since, and then so she unfriended me on Facebook, and immediately, and on Instagram, I think we were still able to kind of see posts from each other. She started posting things that were very obviously targeted towards the incident that happened between she and I, and targeted. And so I just hated it, but I just unfollowed her because.
Has it had any other family fallout?
No.
Good.
No.
Because you've really come through in a lot of ways for certain portions of that family in ways that the rest of the family has not. And I think that person should actually remember that.
Well, but that's not what I do it for.
Of course it's not. But just because you guys disagree on whatever, it doesn't mean that you guys stop being family. And that's the thing. This is one of the things that I hate Trump for the most, is that he has set our country up for civil war, where once again we are family against family and neighbor against neighbor. And this was something that we sort of would not do again.
But how do you avoid that when just the principle of what they're saying is just so inherently wrong, you know, and against just not even just what you stand for, right? Like, just like, it goes against the idea of your family's existence.
Yeah.
To me, there's irony because I mean, she is a part of that community.
Yeah.
And, you know, apart from RBG, like I recently lost my actual grandmother in Mexico, and I didn't feel like I could reach out and be in community with them because of that. And I just felt, it just hurt, you know, and
Yeah.
and for me, I guess I'm grappling with where the boundary is, right? Like, my brother and my other cousins are like, you know, just leave politics out of it. She's your family, this and that. But I'm like, it's not. I don't know. To me, it's not just politics, right?
It's not. I mean, okay. I have been told before, BLM, those types of things are not political issues. They are human rights issues. And I feel like if you're, it's so difficult because if you're on the other side of the fence from me on a human rights issue, 99% of the time I'm just going to be like, F you, I don't want to be anywhere near you. I don't want to go to a party with you. I don't want to break bread with you. None of that. And then their family. So where does that leave you with that?
Yeah, you know, what is thicker? What is thicker right now? Is it blood, or is it the representation of their beliefs versus my beliefs?
I don't know. And I'm sad because I feel like now with everything that's going on, that those ties are going to be, I mean, at this point now, I feel like you could, with time, you know, if nothing else horrible changed, if elections went the way they were supposed to and everything else, I feel like with time, those wounds could be healed. But I don't think we're there. I don't think we're in that perfect time. I don't think that time is going to exist.
There's a lot of pride kind of going on too, right? Like, everyone is just very proud of, I guess, of their beliefs, and defensive when they feel like they're attacked. And, you know, when it's like people kind of go from 0 to 100, and even if they realize that what they said was out of line and inappropriate, no one really wants to apologize for it.
Right.
I mean, and I don't know if I'm as guilty about it as the people that I am observing, you know? I don't know. Because I don't have any intention on apologizing, I don't have any intention in apologizing for what I said to her that caused the blow up. I'm sorry that the blow up happened. I'm sorry that she reacted.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, it's one of those little stupid fake apologies of, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Not one I would care to receive, but it's like, but I guess I'm just in this time right now where I'm like, I'm not apologizing. And it's not even just her, it's just like, there've been different moments in my life recently where people have said, like, you made me feel this way, and you said this and it made me feel this way. And I'm just like, I don't have any I'm not responsible for making you feel any kind of way. That's all you.
Right.
I said because I meant what I said. I said what I said and I meant it. And
yeah.
Means that I said it and why I feel it was justified. And, I'm not responsible for the tears that it caused. I'm sorry. But I don't know if that's just so harsh, like, it's just kind of for me, that's my own personal product of like what's been happening around us. And I guess, I don't know, kind of bringing it back to RBG, I'm kind of thinking about just, you know, her mission, right? I mean, she was very unapologetically herself, but she was never, I don't know, I think she did it with such grace.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm like channeling an RBG or if I'm being unreasonably angry or what it is. I don't know, you know.
Oh, I think that our anger is justified. I really do. Our common sense has been hijacked as a country. Our humanity as a country has been hijacked. And this isn't hyperbole. This is absolutely the reality that, we cannot walk down the street and know that the people that are walking towards us aren't going to kill us if we're not wearing, if we're wearing a mask or not wearing a mask or whatever. I mean, it's just the amount of choices that people are willing to make on the behalf of everybody around them. There's a minister, I don't know where it was. There's a minister that is, have their church has food for people, but only if you go to pick it up without wearing a mask. Only if you will not wear a mask. How is that Christian?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, there are certain things that you should not be able to choose to do. I will grant anybody that. You should not be able to choose to commit murder or to, make somebody lose everything just because you don't like them or any of those things. There are lines that should be drawn. But I think that we have crossed that line irreparably at this point, with people willing to make choices for other people. And I'm kind of rambling right now just because I can kind of see now that in the next 45 days, I can see us not having choices that we have today. And it's terrifying. It is terrifying to me. And, part of those choices are choices that I have because I'm a woman. Part of those choices are choices I have because of, other things. I mean, there are choices that you have because, you're of Latino culture or whatever that are going to be taken from you and from people that you love. I mean, the fact that there were choices made in localities that were only knocked down by the Supreme Court because of people like RBG. Stop and frisk. Present your papers. The right to choose my own way of planning my family. And those choices are very much at risk right now.
And all the people that those choices don't affect don't care. They just don't care, and that's their response. And in fact, in their eyes, we're dramatic, we're overreacting. And but it, you know, even before, you know, we knew this day was, or you know, yesterday was gonna come.
Mm-hmm.
And bless her, I don't know if she felt the pressure from the rest of the, just the whole country, to not die.
How horrifying.
Now, I mean,
How
she
horrifying.
was burdened with huge responsibility that we all kind of placed on her.
Yeah. Yes.
But
Yeah.
it just kind of shows how frail, how fragile our system is when that tiny woman was holding it together for us.
Yeah. I am, you know, if anybody ever watches this, you know, I hope you take the responsibility that she carried and put it on yourself. We can stop what's happening. We can, but it's going to take an enormous amount of being willing to put, you know, bad feelings aside and just do the right thing. Stand up in your community. For God's sakes, please vote Mitch McConnell out, because even if we lose, you know, even if we win a general and get Biden, if McConnell is still in there, we don't stand a chance. Flip the Senate. Pay attention to the down ballot fights. Participate in those. Contribute to those. I mean, if you can't walk on a street with a sign, I get it. I can't, but I can contribute to the guy, to the, is there a man and a woman, I think, against Mitch McConnell. I can contribute to anybody's party that's going to help this cause. And I think right now it is the most important cause we have.
We should do a toast.
I got some. I got you. Wait, hold on. I need a cup. I don't have a cup.
What do you have? Okay. Well, I've got to get something.
Okay. We'll edit our go get our stuff out and we'll start back in. Go get your thing. Okay. Okay. We're back. I am notorious, I don't think is a big enough word. She was an example for all of us, not just the women, but for all of us. And she will be missed in ways that I think that she was way too aware of. And I thank her for doing literally everything she could to hold out and help us right the ship. And I hope and pray that we can keep the ship afloat as she has asked us to do. Your turn, my dear.
she's just, I think, a force that we should all channel. And I think, you know, it's the least that we can do after these last, you know, couple years. You know, when I mentioned earlier that we just kind of put a lot of responsibility on her shoulders. And I think, you know, whether she felt it or not, she just remained so strong and fierce and graceful through everything. And she was a light for us in this very dark time. So naturally, it feels very dark right now.
Yeah.
But even in the dark, there is hope. And we have to decide what that looks like. And it's not, you know, assuming that you know, Trump will be voted out, McConnell will be voted out. It's actually taking actions to make sure that it happens.
Yes.
It's hope is not sitting around crossing our fingers. That's not what that is anymore. Yeah, I think we're just kind of in a world of unknowns, and also just really, really scary systems of power that are trying really, really hard right now to stop us, to stifle us, to quiet us. And they're probably doing it because they're scared, and so maybe in a way that's a good thing, but we just can't give into it.
No.
Because we don't have how old? 87-year-old woman to rely on anymore.
No.
So here's hoping.
To Grandma Ruth.
To Ruth.
I needed that today.
And I like tequila too.
You know, I like tequila. Like I have said, you've heard me say it before, I have had my life's limit. And once you have reached that limit line, your body says, no, no more for you.
I don't know if I have a limit. I don't know if the limit exists for me. But whiskey, oh, that was a very short.
Well, I think that the problem with me is that you know how sometimes, you know, you'll get near the limit, but then you don't have it anymore, and so then the limit kind of goes back down. You know, it's kind of like diabetes. Once you've reached that line, forget about it. You know, you can fix the pre-diabetes, but once you've reached that diabetic line, no, you're diabetic. I think it's the same thing with tequila.
I've heard things. I've heard stories where people like reverse the diabetes.
Well, they go off of insulin and start taking the pills, but I haven't really heard of anybody actually not being diabetic anymore. I don't know. Maybe it's possible. Maybe it's not. All I know is that I have reached my tequila line. I reached it all in one night, and my body will not allow me to have any more.
Yeah. I know people that feel that way. I get it. I'm thankful. We've had fights, but we've never, you know, permanently gone our ways.
You never called it quits. So. Yeah. No. The night in which I lost track at 9 shots of tequila was the night that I decided that tequila and me would not be longer friends.
Alcohol makes you do really stupid things. It's like it's the one shot that makes you feel invincible, that's like, I could totally have 20 more of these.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think we should do this more often. I think we got wrapped up in a lot of the things that were going on and we stopped doing this, and I think we need to keep doing it more often.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if they're like late nights.
Yeah. Late night talky-talks. I promise next time not to cry.
Oh, you
Actually, I
shouldn't.
can't even make that promise. Yeah. Well, God willing, Biden-Harris 2020.
And Biden can't fix all our problems, right? Like, I think that's what we
No,
need to remember. It's that, like, we can't stop the movement. We can't.
no. And I agree with that 100%. At the same time, he can stop piling the problems on top of us.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean, right now it's just like this never-ending problem dump on our heads.
it's chaos. It's like the Avengers in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything's just where, you know, where things are literally just falling out of the sky, and they're just like these destructive robotic monsters, and
Yeah.
everything's just going to shit.
Yeah. But, you know, I mean, you know, to make another movie reference, I think I have to believe that, you know, the people in Rogue One, you know, everybody died, but it was because of them dying that everything got better, you know, and I'm not saying that we should all go out and die, but I'm thinking, you know, we should be willing to, you know, give me liberty or give me death kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, we need to be willing to die.
Yeah, yeah, I'm willing. I mean, that's a rough thing to be willing to, but I mean, if it means that my children, you and young Eleanor,
You
could
know,
live the life that I feel like we're supposed to live, if it meant that difference, I would do it in a heartbeat. Wouldn't any of us as parents?
yeah. Mm.
I'm not sure how many kids what's his name had when he said, "Give me liberty or give me death," but I'm wondering if that's what he had in his head when he said it. You know, this thing under King George is untenable. We can't do this anymore.
Patrick Henry.
Was it Patrick Henry? Yeah, because it was John Hancock that wrote really big, so it was Patrick Henry who said, "Give me liberty or give me death." I always get those two mixed up. But you know, it's like RBG said. You know, we're not asking for everything. We're just asking for you to get your foot off of our necks.
Mm-hmm. God, we are struggling right now, aren't we?
Yeah. Yes, we are.
Onward and upward.
Nowhere else to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
We hope that we have come as close to bottom as we're going to get. We'll see. We got 45 days at the very least to figure it out.
Right. I hope there's not like secret hidden lower levels that we can.
Right? Well, anyway, thank you for meeting with me today. I really am glad that we were able to. And if nothing else, it was therapeutic for me.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
And yeah, we'll do it again soon.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. I love you, my darling.
Love you too.
All right.
See you
I'll
later.
talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.